Independent, locally owned New Orleans bookstore, Octavia Books, offers author events, book signings, and hand-picked titles for all ages. OctaviaBooks.com.
Criollo Restaurant offers a culinary adventure prepared by a tiny animated French chef. A 5-course dinner experience comes to life at each place setting using projection mapping. Located in the historic Hotel Monteleone. Learn more at criollonola.com.
This program is supported in part by a community arts grant made possible by the City of New Orleans as administered by Arts New Orleans.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area.
Support for this program comes from the Gail and Tom Benson Charitable Foundation, committed to funding educational causes.
Steppin Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
From jazz to jambalaya, theater to galleries.
Steppin Out brings you the best of our local arts and culture scene each week.
Let's step up and step out. Together, keeping WYES strong.
And welcome to Steppin Out, with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, have we got a show? And Colin Smith, Chief Curator for the New Orleans Museum of Art. Welcome back. Hello. Hi. Sally Evans-Reeves. Oh my goodness, the list is long. She is one of the co-authors of the new book, New Orleans Garden District Profiles and Preservations, but it's the list of how many books she's written, so much longer. Anyway, this particular book features over 100 homes in the Garden District. Welcome.
Thank
Hello.
you.
Alan Smason, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News and theatercriticism.com. Hello.
Hey, Peg.
Hello. And Harry Marone. I've only known 16 years of age. Composer, I'm very proud of that. Composer and music director for Waiting Around, the restaurant musical, now on stage at Rivertown Theater. So good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Peggy.
Now, Miss Poppy returns next week, but she did share the photo of she and her wonderful husband, Jeffrey. We're going to show that to you. She dressed as the Duchess of Dumaine this year.
Yes.
That's so perfect. Anyway, Sally, let's start off with your book. Now, let's see, we should say Hillary Irvin and Nita Goddard, but you, of course, very much at the helm with this, and it's histories, isn't it, of over 100.
Well, it was the brainchild of Andrea St. Paul Bland, and this is counterintuitive, but it was not driven by pretty pictures. It's visual.
David Spielman, photographer, yes.
It's got fabulous pictures and fantastic printing, but it was not driven by visual imagery. It was driven by accuracy, the need for accuracy. And so we did 108 homeowner books. And I would say I did some of them, Nard Goddard did some of them, Hillary Irvin did most of them.
So you're talking about doing a book of history for each homeowner.
Individual homeowner books. And then those scripts
yeah.
came to me, and it was my job to write the essays in this book.
Wow.
So it was a team effort. We had a wonderful designer,
and we're going to show some
Laura
photos of
WYES and David Spielman, and then wonderful Shelley Landrew behind the scenes managing the thing, along with Andrea. So the idea was to use archives, documentary sources, architectural analysis, and oral history, not just oral history, to compile an accurate stories. And every one of the books is completely footnoted with bibliography.
So you say
and
books, sort
timeline.
of a chapter, each chapter?
Each homeowner got an individual book on their house.
On their house.
And a
compiled.
hardcover book.
Okay,
with,
wow.
with the photographs and a bronze marker.
Gee whiz, my goodness.
So,
how many years did this take?
so we started in 2019.
Woo!
And we finished with our big
Ooh.
launch in November of 25. So it kind of ate your life for a long time.
What were some surprises along the way?
So that was very interesting. So glad you asked. The Garden District looks like an immutable stage setting, but it's had so much change.
the houses are so grand.
The houses have changed in form, in use, in condition, constantly. And up until just 10 years ago, there were houses that were in danger of falling down. And so we found out so much about the changes. So many houses have grown. There have been Center Hall American cottages that are now mansions, such as the Hutchinson House.
Now, the reason for the term Garden District, because it wasn't originally laid out, so there would be, you're coming from New Orleans, earlier New Orleans, where everything's kind of confined. So this was an attempt to have, that it was maybe healthier, that you had more space around you. And
It was a
gardens.
suburban setting.
Suburban, like
it's
a villa?
It was a
Kind of villa.
subdivision of several underlying plantations with a lot of room, big lots. But the lots began to be subdivided more closely in the 1840s. Most of the houses began to be built in the 1850s, even though it began in the 1830s and 20s.
Wow, that's hard to believe that long ago. But there were times, you know, especially what we call the lower Garden District, where some of that had actually almost become slum-like. So to see the renovations through the years, and you've got a book signing on Friday,
Yes,
don't you?
we do.
You've got to mention that.
At the rink.
And,
at
and
Garden
so
District
we should
Bookstore.
say that the book is available at Garden District and eventually will be available on Amazon and others, but buy local, or there's also, you can go to the website, gardendistrictassociation.com. It's an opportunity there too. But so why do this book?
So we wanted to do something that was based on documentary sources and not just a picture book. And because Andrea had this inspiration that she would hear tour guides and carriage drivers tell stories. And she just wanted the accurate stories to be on those fences.
Well, congratulations.
anyway,
Let me
thank
just
you.
show
Thank
one more
you very
time
much for
just
having
how
us.
oh, of course,
Yeah.
how beautiful this book is.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just
Printing
gorgeous.
is extraordinary. I've been in books. I've looked at a
I know
lot
you
of
have.
books. This printing is fantastic.
Great.
It's
Congratulations.
beautifully done.
And hello, Ms. Ann. We wanted to kind of get an update as to what's going on at the New Orleans Museum of Art, and especially two exhibits in particular.
Sure, it's a busy spring at NOMA, so we are excited that Sèvres Magnifique, French porcelain from the collection of Thomas Lemon, opens Saturday, February 28th. It includes works from his collection, his bequest of over 100 pieces, and for over 30 years he worked with dealers in Paris, London, and New York.
And this was one of the premier porcelain factories in France.
Oh, yes, right outside of Paris and on the outskirts of Paris, and it has for 300 years been responsible for technical and artistic developments and innovations in the ceramic arts. And what's exciting about this is that we have examples of the royal patronage and public figures who were key parts of the history, and highlights include pieces commissioned, porcelain commissioned by ceramic works commissioned by Louis XVI, Marie Antoinette, and Madame de Pompadour.
I love this. And Madame du Barry,
Yes.
a wine glass cooler. I've
Yes.
never heard of that before. Doesn't
Me
everyone
either.
have one of those, right?
Embarrassingly, yes. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
lucky you.
So Tommy collected all of these.
Yes.
They're all from the collection.
Yes.
And he's sorely missed.
Yeah, he is.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a lovely collection, so please come see it. It debuts Saturday.
Right. And then a gentleman who was born in New Orleans, but really away for most of his career.
Yes, yes.
There's an exhibit of Mr. Oob.
Yes, Oob is home now. He was the first fine arts graduate of Dillard University. He went on to help establish several art departments at HBCUs, and the exhibition includes his wire sculpture, for which he is most renowned, his bold and geometric paintings, and some of his early works. It's an honor for me to bring Mr. Oob home.
Yes, congratulations. And then, as you said, it's a busy spring. Two
Yes.
events coming up at NOMA, including some Art in Bloom.
Art in Bloom. This is my second Art in Bloom. Art in Bloom is on view to the public March 19th through the 22nd. There's a patron party on Wednesday, March 18th, so please become a patron and you can celebrate with us.
And we should just point out, for someone who's not familiar with it, it is artistic renderings
Yes.
using flowers.
Flowers.
Right next to a painting.
To a painting, so inspired by a painting on all 3 floors of the museum. And
It's
there's
big.
a lot of programming, including a lecture by T.J. McGrath, a fashion show, and a floral arrangement class, as well as one of the most important aspects, the silent auction.
Oh, that's always very important,
Yes.
you bet. And then we have an Easter egg hunt.
Easter egg hunt is on Saturday, March 28th. I think I will participate this year. And it's an annual tradition that families all over the city and the metropolitan area love. It includes tens of thousands of eggs. The NOMA Volunteer Committee were stuffing those eggs, and I can still hear the pop from my office. And it includes fun for the entire family. And you can get tickets, and they're available at noma.org.
All right, thank you so much, Anne,
Thank
for
you.
bringing us up today. Alan, it's been a while.
Well, and Mardi Gras is in the rear window now, so
Kinda, sorta.
it's time for a large number of show openings to happen right here on the local boards. In fact, one started out last week, someone that Harry is very familiar with, and that, of course, is Ricky Graham. The New Orleans-tinged Meemaw Mystery, starring Ricky Graham, now playing at his new home on the West Bank in Westwego at the Westwego Performing Arts Theater. The 3 final shows play this weekend in Westwego with Gary Rucker. You can see him along with others like David Hoover there on the left.
I love that.
And of course, David, you know, will be receiving the Crescent City Theater Awards Theater Educator of the Year Award at the end of next month. It's going to be a fun show. Those of you who haven't had a chance to see it, 3 times now to see it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, the show that still holds the record for the longest run on Broadway is making its way back for an extended run starting this Wednesday at the Sanger Theater. Of course, we're talking about the Phantom of the Opera. It opens for 11 days with Isaiah Bailey in the role as the Phantom. Also starring Jordan Lee Gilbert, who we see there as Christine Daae, and Daniel Lopez as Raoul, the Viscount de Chauny. And for those who are wondering how many shows it ran, in its more than 35-year run, it was 13,981 performances. Now, find out why this has been really such a big blockbuster for Andrew Lloyd Webber, Cameron McIntosh, and so many others. The Phantom of the Opera's national tour is at the Sanger, March the 4th through the 15th of March. Also opening on the local stages, we have another show that's proven to be a crowd favorite for many years, since its debut in 1950, playing for over 1,200 shows back in 1950 through 53, Guys and Dolls. It's the Damon Runyon Fable of Broadway. It's being directed by A.J. Allegra and John A. Buisson, with John A. serving as the choreographer. That's the same team that brought you Jersey Boys last year. Basically, the show's going to be, I've seen it already, the cast is going to be a fantastic cast. Don't miss it. Get your tickets now. And we'll talk a little bit more about some of their other season offerings later on. Now, meanwhile, the COVID pandemic, we all remember that, unfortunately. It was the reason why the Disney company shut down Frozen, the musical that was, on Broadway at the time, but never came back. But it will be seen here for the first time on a local stage, and not a Frozen Junior production, which is usually a truncated kind of production. JPA is presenting the full version with a big cast at the Jefferson Performing Arts Center on Airline Drive. And this production, by the way, will be directed by Scott Sarber. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
And that's coming up soon?
That is coming up again this next weekend.
Oh, wow.
So you'll see it starting Friday, March the 6th. And again, those of you, we were going to get back to Gary Rucker. Those of you who did not know, this is going to be Gary Rucker's final show at Rivertown. That's getting ready to start up. Elvis Presley musical titled All Shook Up. And again, it's based, believe it or not, on several of Shakespeare's play, sort of like As You Like It, Twelfth Night, Much Ado About Nothing, and others. The musical really has more than 24 Elvis Presley songs that moves the action along. And you got everything from Hound Dog to Jailhouse Rock to Burning Love, If I Can Dream. And they're really sure to please all the fans out there who love that king of rock and roll. Again, Gary Rucker's last show at Rivertown Theaters before he makes the move over from Kenner to the Best Bank. Again, we're going to talk about that now because on Sunday, March the 8th, he will be joined on stage at the Westwego Performing Arts Theater with Ricky Graham, and the two will unveil their season for this remaining of this year and the next year. And the cost is going to be $35, but it includes food, it includes libations, and there'll be several live performances that you'll be able to see. Again, the Westwego 2026-27 season announcement party. It should be a lot of fun. And again, I can't wait to see Gary and Ricky. Now, you can get your tickets now or call the box office. One last thing I wanted to mention, Peggy. You know, we don't often get to see a true legitimate Broadway star in these parts. We've seen Kristen Chenoweth with the LPO. Well, guess what? If you're interested in seeing a legitimate Broadway performer in a 90-minute performance with members of the LPO, the Rodney LaFont Center in nearby Luling is where you need to be. Mandy Gonzalez, who originated the role of Nina in The Heights and took over the role of Angelica Schuyler in Hamilton from the Tony Award winner Renee Elise Goldsboro, she's coming to the LaFont Center. And, of course, she's been a big friend, long-time companion of Lin-Manuel Miranda in several of the shows that he's been with. So Mandy took over also the role of Elphaba. So she's legitimate Broadway royalty. Back in 2010, she turned down that part initially to do the first national road tour Shoshana Bean was doing, so she could play in The Heights. And, of course, we know that, of course, won the Tony Award. She'll be here for one night only, Saturday, March the 14th.
All right, thank you so much. And turning to Harry, and talk about being a part of the scene.
Yes.
And yes, Waiting Around, the restaurant musical, and Ricky Graham had a little something to do with that.
Very much so. He wrote the book and lyrics, and I did the music, and we had a history together, working together, but also waiting tables together a long time ago, which lean more towards comedy. So there are a few things that happened to him in real life, and I'll just leave it at that.
Well, we have, before we talk actually
Yes.
any further, we should really set up a wonderful clip that you have. That we're
This
gonna
is
show.
the title song, Waiting Around, which is a play on words. It's four different, a career waiter, an aspiring restaurant owner, a newbie, and an actor waiter, and this played by Chris Weckline. It's a song about, in the second act, where they all sort of share their heart.
And now here's an exclusive excerpt of Waiting Around, the restaurant musical.
This routine by heart, it's either give up or give in. Being comfortable, that's easy. You don't have to make a choice. Don't rock the boat, don't raise your voice. Keep looking forward. You keep on losing heart, and in the meantime, I'm just waiting around. My life is growing a little, day by day. My dreams are non-committal. It's safer that way. To what I'm waiting for is nowhere to be found. And in the meantime, I'm just waiting around.
Wait, should I wait? I'm not waiting for anything. Should I keep? I'm not standing still. I'll make a killing. Am I willing to wait and see?
I'm where I want to be. I'm not just waiting around. Got my feet well planted where I'm standing. Here where the view is clear, I see my dreams. Oh, wait and see. I see my life so clearly, the part I want to play, but day by day and yearly, it's fading away. I'm waiting for something.
Waiting for anything.
Waiting for anything.
I'm not standing still.
It's either
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's one of my favorite things Ricky ever wrote because everything's funny.
And it's through March the 2nd.
Yes, but it's such a lovely thing that he did, and I'm so proud of the show. It does two things. It instills pride in those in the profession and respect from everyone else. In spite of it, it's a musical comedy. I mean, it's not a heavy piece of theater, but it has heart, and I'm real proud of that. And we have always had a lot of servers and people who, when we were at Le Chat Mott years ago, my favorite comment, and I have a little video on social media, this girl said, "Oh, you know what, after watching this," she said, "now I am proud of what I do." And there was another lady who came, well-heeled, wealthy, older woman. She grabbed my wrist coming out of the theater and she said, "I just loved the show." And she looked to the left, looked to the right. She said, "I'm going to be a better tipper now." They sort of get the whole dynamic of the relationship of being kind to one another. You know, I know this seems rather serious, but that's the heart of the show, and that's what I love about it so much. It's so much fun, and it's so ridiculous. All the horrors of dealing with obnoxious customers, but at the end of the show, it validates the profession.
Yeah.
And,
well, I like the way you combine in terms of culture because, I mean, the strong theater culture here, but restaurant culture and the servers. I mean, my goodness.
Well, you know, it was really cool when we did it one night. At one point, we were doing radio advertising. We were doing ticket giveaways. And there was one night we had a line of very young people waiting to get in. And I remember several of them had never been to a play before. They came because it was about what they did. So this hits people in so many levels. And the cast, Kyle Dagrapont, Darcy Malone, Tracy Collins, and Mandy Zerkenbach, who directed the show.
So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
My goodness, my pleasure. Time for picks, Alan.
We can't forget it was called the Black and White Blues.
Oh, yes.
That's right. That's right. Oh, that's
fresh off their Enigma variations. The LPO has a number of big concert performances planned. Next weekend, their annual Historic New Orleans Collection concert at St. Louis Cathedral will be held on Friday, the 4th, and it is completely free. Check that out. And then be prepared on March the 12th, Peggy, for the return of artistic director and conductor Maestro Matthew Kramer, who will conduct the LPO, a big chorus, and several vocalists in the magnificent Beethoven Symphony No. 9, the Chorale. I'll see you at the theater.
All right. Sally, I'm sorry, you said you had a pick.
Well, I wanted to acknowledge your fabulous performance at the Rex Ball.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
You are
It's on YouTube.
so knowledgeable.
You want to see the ball.
And you and Errol do such a fabulous job. All the people you interviewed, the people that you recognize, you are just a pro.
Well, you're so kind.
It was fun to watch.
And we did cover your picks at the end there. But very quickly, my picks, actually, some show and tell. A carnival flashback. Photographer George Long shared these incredible images from the recent ball held by La Société de Saint-Don, known for their artful costumes and Mardi Gras Day, of course, procession all around the quarter, and some of the early founders. And GeorgeLong.com, you can see more, and thank you, George, for the use of these. But people might remember, of course, Paul Poche and Henri Schindler are out there in the forefront of the beginning, and today Robin Halverson is at the helm. Love seeing them all over the quarter. Also wanted to show you a photo of Drew Brees, who is a special guest of the Bacchus Parade and newly inducted into the NFL Football Hall of Fame. Thank you, Justin. There he is, throwing a football, you know? And just a reminder that Nell Nolan and Michael Newcomer will be performing A.L. Gurney's Love Letters Friday evening at the Crescent City Stage Studio, 6063 Magazine Street. Tickets go to crescentcitystage.com. And on Saturday, the Hammond Regional Arts Center will hold their Art of the Cocktail fundraiser with many area restaurants and bars participating, HammondArts.com. Before we go, I've got to go back to Sally because I think of all the really important, it's a love fest here, okay, all really important history books that I've been able to utilize that you wrote for the programs that we've, been such a part of over the years here. Wow, well, including the City Park book.
Thank you for having me all these times.
Yeah, well, it's such a pleasure, though. Thank you. Thank you all so very much for being here. And once again, good to see you. And thank you very much for watching. Good night.
Steppin Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
From jazz to jambalaya, theater to galleries.
Steppin Out brings you the best of our local arts and culture scene each week.
Let's step up and step out. Together, keeping WYES strong.
Support for this program comes from the Gail and Tom Benson Charitable Foundation, committed to funding educational causes. Criollo Restaurant offers a culinary adventure prepared by a tiny animated French chef. A 5-course dinner experience comes to life at each place setting using projection mapping. Located in the historic Hotel Monteleone. Learn more at criollonola.com.
This program is supported in part by a community arts grant made possible by the City of New Orleans as administered by Arts New Orleans.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area.
Independent, locally owned New Orleans bookstore, Octavia Books, offers author events, book signings, and hand-picked titles for all ages. OctaviaBooks.com.